Hey guys, it's Nick, and in this video, I want to talk about the saga of what's going on with Russia and Germany and the natural gas and the shutdown pipeline and all that kinds of crazy stuff. Now, if you don't know, Germany gets about 40% of their natural gas from Russia, and most of it comes through the Nord Stream 1 pipeline from Russia into Germany directly. There are other pipelines that cross Ukraine that Germany can get some gas from, but even those are diminished. And recently, Russia has diminished the flow of that pipeline gas to Germany because they are waiting for a turbine that Siemens is contracted to repair for them. Now, Siemens sent that turbine to one of their facilities in Canada, and Canada was refusing to release it back to Russia because of Russian sanctions. So Russia said, well, if we don't get back that turbine, we can't turn back on the Nord Stream 1 pipeline, and Germany will get no gas. And they are estimating that the German economy, GDP, could fall by like 12% if the gas is shut off by Russia. So probably after a lot of pressure from Germany to get that turbine back from Canada, Canada is now agreeing to release that turbine and send it back to Germany, who will then send it to Russia. And that way it magically doesn't violate the sanctions, I guess. However, Gazprom said that they still cannot guarantee that Germany will get their gas because they don't have some kind of piece of paper that says that Canada is sending that turbine back and that they will get the turbine. So they're saying, look, you're saying you're going to send it back. We have no idea. So unless we see some document, some contract or something that we're getting it back, we can't say for sure that we're going to be able to turn back that Nord Stream 1 pipeline and supply Germany with gas again. And in the meantime, the Nord Stream 1 pipeline is undergoing its yearly maintenance, which is running from July 11th to July 21st. And so now there's all kinds of people saying that they think that maybe Russia will not turn that thing back on July 22nd. And so this is where the craziness of what's going on in Germany. So let's take a look at what the effects of this might be in Germany. So here already, the German energy giant Uniper says that they could be insolvent within days because they are draining gas from storage and they are having to buy natural gas on the spot market, which is up like 300% from a year ago. And these are the flows from Nord Stream 1 to Europe. And you see at the end of June, they have dropped significantly from 160 down to 60 because of the turbine, and now down to 0 because of the maintenance. And so this is Germany's gas storage refill, and it is at about, what, 65%? However, the German government is trying to reach 90% storage levels by November to make it through the winter. And so this is European natural gas storage 2011 to 2022 in terawatt hours, which is 1 trillion watts or 1,000 megawatts, and this includes the UK. And so normally they are above 900 terawatts by October or November, and last year they were below that, and that's when the problem started. And now here we are in July. They have no Russian gas coming in, and they're at 669 right now. And so if the price of natural gas gets too high or people freeze during the winter, there's risk of social unrest in Germany. And they say, we must help average households and set an upper limit, price caps, that always works so well, for energy costs, noting annual bills of 1,500 euros could rise to 4,700 euros by October. That is huge. And so here's the chart of the flows from Nord Stream 1. They were getting about 1.7 billion kilowatt hours per day. Because of the turbine, it fell to about 700 million kilowatt hours per day. And now, as of July 11th, it is 0. And so it's scheduled to turn on July 22nd. And other gas pipelines from Russia to Europe have also been falling in 2022. And so here are shares of Uniper, the German utility that is eating up these costs as it's buying gas in the spot market because it's not getting them from Russia. And their stock chart looks like it's 100% correlated to the flows from Nord Stream 1. So it went from over $40 to like $10. And so who uses the most gas in Germany? Well, actually, industry uses the most in 366 billions of kilowatt hours. Next is households at 306. And so power generation is 125 and heating and cooling supply is 67. So if things get really bad, what's going to happen if they don't want social unrest? They're going to have to keep this, and reduce this. And the sectors of industry that will probably get hit the hardest are the ones that use the most, which is chemical, food and tobacco, metal and paper, and then ceramics. So if the Russian pipeline doesn't come back on, this is the expected decline in each industry by percent for the second half of 2022. Glass and glassware will decline by 47%, pig iron and steel by 34%, and so on, all the way down to machinery, maybe 5-6%. So how is Germany preparing for a possible shutdown of Russian gas? Well, here in this Spiegel magazine interview with German Economy Minister Robert Habeck, this guy, now if he looks a little scruffy and like he hasn't showered in a little bit, here's why. This is what he's trying to get German people ready for. I'm adhering to the advice of my ministry. I have drastically reduced the amount of time I spend in the shower. But I am a poor example. As a minister, I earn a salary that others can only dream of. Plus, I come home late, get up at 6 a.m., and I'm out of the house again by 7. With such a schedule, it is not necessary to heat in the winter. So I'm sure all these guys are leading by example and taking really short showers and not heating their homes or their offices in the government buildings, right? So this article, Deutsche Bank, is now modeling German households chopping wood to keep warm this winter. So I guess the German economy minister, the next article they have about him is going to be him in the back of his house chopping some wood to heat his house. So Deutsche Bank said these are the 3 likely scenarios if Russian gas supplies do not come back. So 1, Russian gas supplies return to the level we have seen in the weeks before current maintenance period of Nord Stream 1, 60% before the level at the end of May without the turbine fixed. Scenario 2 assumes another halving of Russian gas supplies via both pipelines, and so that would correspond to only 20% of Russian gas supplies seen until May 2022. And this is because Gazprom said it cannot guarantee good functioning of Nord Stream pipeline to Germany, saying it's still as yet unclear and unknown whether a critical turbine engine would be returned from repair in Canada. But Global Affairs Canada granted the German industrial giant Siemens Energy an exemption under Canada's Russia sanctions for 2 years. How nice of them. But Gazprom doesn't necessarily believe them and said it does not possess any documents that would enable Siemens to get the gas turbine engine out of Canada. So in these circumstances, it appears impossible to reach an objective conclusion on further developments regarding the safe operation of a compressor station at the Russian end of the pipeline. And so as U.S. natural gas dropped after the Freeport LNG terminal explosion, EU natural gas has skyrocketed once again, and it's about 3 times more expensive than U.S. natural gas. And so scenario 3 is the Mad Max scenario where Russia completely turns off the gas taps to Germany after the maintenance period. So even though the Netherlands and Norway have increased their exports to Germany since late May by roughly 20%, it's not going to be enough to get them through the winter. And so here's the best part, the possible substitution for gas by other energy sources. The bank lists hard coal and lignite in the power sector, and as for private households, it predicts that wood will be used for heating purposes where possible, while industries will switch to oil derivatives, all of which contributes to lower gas demand. And if you're not that good at chopping up wood, or you don't have a fireplace in your apartment, which is even more likely, Germany has a plan to have warm-up spaces in response to gas shortages. So they're going to convert arenas to a warm-up hall. And they urge local municipalities to create heat islands and warm rooms where people can stay even during a very cold winter. Germans have also been told to take fewer showers, wear more layers of clothing, and avoid washing their clothes and driving their cars often. And many of them are attempting to panic buy stoves and firewood, with supplies in many areas of the country now exhausted until next year. So there you have it. The German government wants Germans to stop heating their homes, stop taking showers, stop driving their cars. And if it gets too cold, you can always go out into the woods and chop your own wood. And hopefully you have a stove to burn it in your apartment. But if you can't do that, then you can always go to the homeless shelter, warming station in your local city. And if those warming stations get too filled up, I'm sure if you go around the corner in the back alley, there's probably a bunch of people warming their hands around a garbage can filled with burning trash. Now, going back to burning coal and lignite and even firewood is probably not the green utopia that they had envisioned, but at least the Germans will be able to sleep well under their extra blankets and extra layers of clothes, knowing that in the end, they really stuck it to Putin. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.